Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Bruiser Gaming, where tonight we'll be playing Dagon. Now, Dagon is a faithful interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through the locations along the plot. So basically, we're doing
writing this under an appreciable mental strain.
Kind of like a walking sim playthrough of Dagon. I'm writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more. So this is going to give us a real visual experience of what it's like in the novella or the short story Dagon. All right, so we got some drug use going on over here, writing some letters and shit. During the game, you'll encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others reveal interesting facts about the original short story. Oh, that's kind of neat. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus on your eyes and look for the elder sign. So we're looking for the tree branch looking sign. You can also access the found facts later. Oh, cool. Okay. So let's see what all we can find in this room. Well, what are you?
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid.
So yeah, we're planning on killing ourselves. Like, the strain of what we've gone through.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Okay, so this one, I have actually I have read the story before. I got a compilation of some of H.P. Lovecraft's works. This one, I'm not going to ruin the surprise for you guys, but I will. I'm probably going to maybe ruin a few surprises for you guys as we talk about it. I'll try to hold off for as long as I can.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Yeah, he's trying to drown out his past experiences. Okay, so we have the letter. What are you... Ooh, that's a symbol. Morphine. Morphine entered into the use in the 19th century and was routinely administered to treat severe pain during the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. In World War I, it was also sold without restrictions until 1914. You could just buy morphine. Jeez. Morphine became more popular after the invention of the hypodermic syringe around 1854. Frederick Sertiner, who first isolated the substance, originally named it morphium, after Morpheus, the Greek god associated with dreams. At the time when Dagon was published, morphine abuse, known as soldier's disease, already posed a big problem in the United States. Oh, that's interesting. I don't want to call that a fun fact as far as like abusing morphine, but you know, our character's essentially scribing down his experience for someone to be able to read before he kills himself.
Of the broad Pacific, that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific, the packet of which... Yeah. So, like, while traveling... Oh, so can I move now? Oh. No, I can just look at things. Damn, I'm going to get a lot of fucking eyesight practice out of this. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's novels are set during World War I.
And the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Ooh, what we got? Okay, so let's figure out... See, the Huns. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids, who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for German, as a synonym, in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated with the German Emperor Wilhelm. Okay, let's see. Man, I want to read all this, but like this is kind of slow. We'll leave this. This is all just kind of fun facts, so I'll leave this. Feel free to pause it and come back to it from there. We know that it's a Hun ship. Okay, so this is straight up like a point and click. It seems this isn't even technically a walking sim.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions.
All right, dude, these guys are fucking idiots. Like, let's just take their boat and some of their shit. Like, let's just hop on board. Oh, well. Conveniently located packs of shit beside me. Yeah, so, we're soon for things to get squirrely.
I had but little idea.
It's such a pretty game, though.
Surroundings.
By the way, I know I talk a fair amount in these games. I'm trying not to talk as much whenever he's talking to give you a chance to listen to the story.
I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Yeah, we're fucking lost is where we're at. We don't... Like, well, what are you going to do? We're going to paddle? Which direction are we fucking paddling, man? Like, we just, like, hope, like... I have no clue where
Of the
fucking land is.
longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Which would be terrifying, to be honest. Like, this is a vast expanse of fucking nothing. You can see... Oh, it's the sun. Yeah, let's just... Oh, that's the moon. Let's just stare at it for a while until we go blind. Then we don't have to worry about what direction we're going. Every direction's a mystery.
For days, I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship
It's so, like...
or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
It's interesting to be able to just look around, like, the way it's letting me. So you get our packs of shit. Well, at least we got a little bit of water in the skin, you know? Oh, this would be some boring days floating, waiting for your death. Is there something I'm supposed to... Okay, I was about to say, is there something I need to look at? But yeah, like for days you just float under the water in the fucking sun.
And I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Oh, I'm forced to look. Yeah, that's why I say we just stare at the sun. Just embrace it all. Like I said, eventually we'll go blind.
Whilst I slept.
Now's when we get the Lovecraftian shit.
Details I shall never know.
This is why I love Lovecraft so much.
My slumber, though troubled and dream infested, was continuous.
It's the fucking unknown, the eldritch, the mysterious. That would be really fucking freaky to wake up and see. We're on a land of, like, inky black tar with squid-like creatures covering it. Our boat is wrecked. Like, there's nothing else in sight. Oh, I fucking love it.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
What would you do, man?
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Could you guys lend us a tentacle or two?
I imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery. I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Oh yeah, of course you'd be horrified. This is fucking terrible.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me.
Just thinking of the rotting soil. Yeah, it's like an inky blackness.
The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
There's just like things all over, and like most of them are squid-like. But there's like one of those snail things.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity. There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear. The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Yeah, it's strange seeing the sun and then it's all dark though. What are we looking at? So there's our boat. Is there any of you strange crustaceans I can look at and get a little idea of something special? Ooh, yeah, you. The Origins of Dagon. Dagon seems to be inspired by Fishhead, a short novel by Irvin S. Cobb about the unnatural affinities between a hybrid idiot and the strange fish of an isolated lake. Let's see. In Lovecraft's dream about a strange island emerging from the ocean and him crawling in that ooze that covered its surface. I dreamed that whole hideous crawl, and I can yet feel the ooze sucking me down. Lovecraft's interest in the topic stemmed from his aversion to fish and sea smells, in his own words. I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected with it since I was 2 years old, but I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me such a profound and lasting aversion to the sea and seafood. Dweller in the Darkness, Lovecraft, 1927. But I read that one because I was curious about seeing like some of the origins of Dagon. Dagon is a god in many of his other stories. So like Dagon is worshipped by others.
As I crawled into the stranded
namely
boat,
in Shadow over Innsmouth,
I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
But that thing is huge. I crawled into the stranded boat. I realized, yeah, what else could you do but just sit in your fucking shitty little turned over boat?
Some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years.
I mean, it was plugging up the volcano, popped up.
Watery depths.
What else would you think? Like, all right, look, it's like a piece of the fucking like Earth came up, and this is like it just brought the shit with it.
The extent of the new land which had risen beneath me, that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean.
It's as if the ocean became
straining
this.
my ears as I might, nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about there not being birds. Yeah, it's like the ocean turned to this. Like it's like we're on a continent of it. Okay, so that's the go-go fish. We don't need to go. I want to look in you. I don't think there's any other secret things to look at. Yeah, fuck it. Fish time.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding
so the sun
in
is
the
coming
boat,
up.
which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Sorry if I'm seeing like I'm spastically looking around a lot. I just really want to investigate like all the shit that I can see. Like there's so many. That big thing over there keeps fucking moving, and I don't like that.
As the day progressed,
I was looking for
the
something.
ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Yeah, like that's gotta stink, man. Like, that's gotta stink.
That night I slept but little, and the next day
Oh,
I made for myself a pack.
I forgot that was
containing
behind
food
there.
and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search
so
of
there's
the
the moon.
vanished sea and possible rescue.
It's like someone right over there. So we need to grab our shit. I don't like that at all. So it's not letting me investigate. Oh, so I can zoom. I didn't know I could zoom. I guess I didn't read the buttons far enough. Yeah, I gotta remember I got the zoom.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
So now it's like actually like ground.
The odor of the fish was maddening,
Oh,
but
man.
I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
I mean, fuck it. We're just gonna walk, man. Like, I wish it would let me walk, but I understand why they didn't. Oh, don't just walk over it, bro. What are you doing? There's a whole lot of fucking open area to not.
All
Oh,
day I forged
that
steadily
is
westward, guided
not
by a faraway
comforting to
hummock
see.
which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
I mean, where else do we go other than the peak? That I don't like the size of. I think this has something to do. Like, I think that's a piece of something too, but that is disturbing. All right, well, here we go. I mean, we're doing basically what he did in the time machine. It's like we're gonna go to that big place and go up there. Bro, you are. I mean, I was about to say, oh, that's a straight up whale, dude. Look at its eye. Oh my god, that is so like, that's so freaky, man. Yeah, I don't like it. Well, continue on. Fun fact: blue whales were invented in 1945 by the man who created the Zeppelin in his first attempt to.
And on the
traverse.
following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
There's like fucking dune worms over here. Nothing special? Nothing special? Ah, what are you? What are you? The horrors of the ocean. The creator of the Cthulhu Mythos in the fictional underwater city of... Y'all are gonna fucking roast me in the comments for this. Rye, Atlantis was convinced that life could not exist at the bottom of the ocean because the water pressure would make it uninhabitable. Today, we know that the darkest depths of the ocean are home to many peculiar organisms. The deepest dwelling fish we have discovered so far, the Mariana snailfish, can live about 8,000 meters, more than 26,000 feet below the ocean surface in never-ending darkness, and at a hellishly crushing pressures, hundreds of times stronger than those found at sea level. Upon glancing at the modern photos of deep-sea creatures such as the anglerfish, the fangtooth, or the viperfish, and their truly Lovecraftian characteristics, it's not hard to find some irony in this. Yeah, I mean, for anyone that hasn't seen an anglerfish, like, they're the like ones with the light that have like the real sharp like fucking teeth. Like, they look horrifying. They look like a naturally scary thing. Okay, so we're gonna make our way through all the.
By the fourth evening,
I see a
I
light.
attained the base of the mound,
That's what I like.
which turned out to be much higher
There is a
than
little
it
light
had
over there.
appeared from a distance.
Yeah, like at a distance, like a mountain could
An
look small.
intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
God, I would not want to sleep out there. I mean, he probably walked
I
all
know
day
not
though.
why
He
my
did.
dreams were so wild that night.
Oh, you don't.
But
You don't.
ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a
Such a
cold
pretty game, though.
perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Hey, buddy.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
Yeah, he just said, like, all right, fuck no to sleeping. Like,
And in the glow of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by
I
day.
think I see Orion's belt and the Big Dipper over there to the right. When I saw how unwise I'd been to travel by day.
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
That's a good point, yeah.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Huh.
Picking up
We feel
my
good.
pack,
We feel good.
I started for the crest.
Like, yeah, I
of the
should have not
Abyss.
walked during the daylight. Should have slept during the day. No. I guess, yeah, we do need our pack. Can I see anything else? I forget the exact story beats
I have
as
said
far as
that
it
the
happens.
unbroken
Like the
monotony
little
of
things,
rolling
but
plain was a source of vague horror to me.
monotony of the rolling
But
plain.
I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon.
I forgot about that. No, wait. Or
Whose
did I?
black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Oh, so it's just like darkness.
I felt
Oh my
myself
God.
on the edge of the world,
Yeah, it's so creepy.
peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night. Through my
What- yeah,
terror
what do you do?
ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost,
Oh, Paradise
of
Lost.
Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had
A
imagined.
little more traversable than we were expecting. Okay, let's
Ledges and
just get a little
outcroppings of
closer.
rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent,
Yeah, that's actually like it looked super bad. That actually looks not that bad.
whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
He's got such a unique use of words. Like as far as like Lovecraft, like love him or hate him, like he's got a very interesting use of words. Sometimes I feel like he uses
Urged
words
on by
incorrectly.
impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath, gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite
monolith.
slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Something that would like clearly catch your attention. Is there anything else to look at? Anything special? Anything special? It never gives me like a full 360 to turn. Okay, let's go down here. The moon was invented in 1912.
But it was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
I don't like these outcropping rocks.
But I was conscious
It's clearly
of
a
a distinct
monolith.
impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature.
Yeah, I mean, like things like that don't occur
Scrutiny
naturally.
filled me with sensations I cannot express.
Generally, you don't find squared edges out in nature. Like they don't have that. If they do, it's not the rule. It's the exception, and this is clearly an exception.
For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith,
Told you.
whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
Yeah, like
Dazed
you
and
gotta build that.
frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings
Yeah.
more closely.
Yeah, what's unique here? Is anything unique? Yeah, more close. That means we're gonna walk right up to it. Oh,
The moon, now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm, and revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
yeah, we're gonna just not quite go all the way up
Across the
that.
chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the cyclopean monolith,
I haven't seen those symbols on it.
on whose surface I could now trace both
Yeah,
inscriptions.
I see like a hammerhead shark and
Sculptures.
squids. Anything special? Nothing special. Okay, yeah, let's get a little closer. What is it?
Writing was in a system
What's on
of
it?
hieroglyphics unknown to me and unlike anything I'd ever seen.
It was really well done, though. What do you think? What do you think that top one up there is? I can't tell. I would think it's a turtle, but that might be. That seems too easy. That's clearly like Cthulhu in the middle.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols.
No, I mean,
such as
like-
fishes.
Okay, good, so you do
eels,
understand that. That's
octopi,
good. I was making. I'm sorry for making fun of you.
Mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world. but whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain.
Oh, so it's the different things that he saw there. I gotta say, the voice actor in this is doing a really good job.
It was the pictorial carving, however, that did the most to hold me spellbound.
Well, first and foremost, Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later years, such as telling the story through the carvings at the Mountains of Madness in the Nameless City, journals and characters' notes, The Shadow Out of Time, The Haunter of the Dark. The Haunter of the Dark, that's a good one. I haven't read The Shadow Out of Time. Islands Emerge from the Ocean, Call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on the real events and mythologies, Migo and The Whisper in the Darkness. The Whisper in the Darkness is awesome. If you guys haven't ever checked that out, check out The Whisper in Darkness. That is a very, very good one. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu Mythos. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip the details in order to not spoil the ending. Okay, and what we got?
Plainly visible across the intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
I don't know, okay, sure what he just said to me.
These things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of
Yeah,
men.
these down at the bottom.
Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some
mermen. Water of some marine grotto.
Homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
I think we might have found their
faces
stone.
and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint.
So it sounds like
Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
that'd be awful. If you saw something like that in real life, because like that's a drawing, but if you saw that in real life, it would be fucking freaky, especially like in this area.
Outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
Hey man, don't body shame.
Bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall.
Now you're just being rude, bro.
Curiously enough,
they
seem to have been chiseled
They had
badly
fat asses and
proportion
small
with their
boobies,
background.
and they had a big old eyebrow, and they smelled bad, you know. Cursing, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scientific.
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented
That was a lot
as
cooler.
but little larger than himself.
Or they're fucking
I
gigantic.
remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe.
Clearly this is a god. Like this is a god to
Some
someone.
tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was
You have to
born.
remember that you're on top of this like sludge. Okay, we'll look at this again.
Awestruck
Yeah,
at
he
this
decided to just get away
unexpected
from it.
glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist.
There's a lot of anthropology in his works, like
I
a lot of
stood
it.
musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
Oh, did it?
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
Did you? What did you see? Oh, was that? Is that a bloop in the water?
With only a slight churning to mark its
Oh.
rise to the surface, the thing slid
so
into
weird to see
view above
this.
the dark waters.
H.P. Lovecraft's stuff is hard to visualize, to be honest. Like he's got such unique writing styles that a lot of it's very hard to grasp. That is not what I expected.
It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith,
Not what I expected.
about which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
She's just on the ground, just breathing. Like you just accept, like I'm probably gonna die now.
I think I went mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
Oh. Oh, okay, we're like, yeah. Trying to climb out. Can I look out and see things? Everything's like moving. Again, it's just so different to see these things visually. God, these
I
spikes.
sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
So he's just like, he's basically just like tweaking out, like on his way back. Oh, is that? It's the whale. Okay, yeah.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
Just all of a sudden, crazy storms coming in now.
At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wild.
In her wildest moods. So I'm like reinvested in the story again.
came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital. Brought
What
thither
happened?
by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean.
Did
In
we
my
go mad?
delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
Yeah, basically we're like the ramblings of a madman.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they
Yeah, he
could
probably
not
said it a few
believe.
times, and when they didn't believe him, he was like, "Okay, I was probably just crazy for a little bit, see mad." What is this? Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world after amateur journalism. Blah blah blah. Howard was a skilled wordsmith. He also took criticism to the heart. Blah blah blah. Let's see. I'm just kind of skimming real quick. Let you guys read that if you choose to. Oh. Well, my mind powers will open the door for me, clearly.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused
Tell
him
me
with
more.
peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
So, hey man, we want to ask you things about Dagon. Dagon was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. Oh, that's interesting. Also appeared as a judge of the dead in an Assyrian poem in the underworld prison wanderer, blah, blah, blah. Often mistaken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name. Dag means fish in Hebrew. Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that reside in the ocean. He's worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So there's the cult affiliation with it. Oh, well. We gotta get ourselves a drink, probably, or some drugs.
But soon perceiving that he was hopelessly conventional, I did not
Yeah,
press
we're just
my
like,
inquiries.
yeah, this doctor sucks. We need to go to Arkham. That's where we need to go. Arkham's the fucking place. August Derulith and Cthulhu Mythos, American writer. See, again, I'm just skimming real quick. I'm gonna let you guys go through this. Okay. So what else you got? What else you got? Oh, I can turn. Oh, it let me turn all the way. Wow. Okay, so it won't let me go. Yeah, if I go too far, I can't turn back. Okay, that's weird. That's a strange little something to that. I was like going too far and then crossing a threshold and I couldn't go back on it. It's like jumping down the slopes on damn Pokemon. Hello? So there's that, which is going to take me out of here. Why did it let me come over here? Like, why did it make me go over here to go over there? It's like, all right, just zig across the room so you can zag on back over here.
It is at night.
Oh, back to my drug
especially
table.
when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing. I tried morphine, but the drug has given only transient surcease and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless
Yeah,
slave.
now we just gotta have it. It doesn't even really drown it out, but we just gotta have it.
So now I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
I mean, you're admitting that you got the addiction and all that kind of stuff, but you're like, hey, I admit my addiction, but I am 100% on board for like this still happened. Lovecraft hated tobacco, even though he used to smoke when he was 12, in order to look and feel like an adult. His corresponding with his friend Reinhardt claims he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. Wow. Very strong opinion about alcohol. A lot of his characters end up with like alcoholic traits and shit. As for the matter of drinking, I have never tasted intoxicating liquor and never intend to, having a strong aesthetic disgust of anything which blunts or coarsens the delicate nature, equipoise of the evolved human intellect and imagination. Drinking excited my personal repugnance. Hence, I don't drink. Let the herd do what they will. I am rather in favor of prohibition, the prohibition of any one anti-social force as well as any other. Okay, yeah, it's hard for me to read his writing fluidly. It makes me feel like I'm word drunk. Like we're about to get morphine drunk. Just like
Often,
chugging that.
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm.
It's like, was it real?
A mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man of war.
We're probably gonna get like sun poisoning being out here.
This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision.
It's like,
in reply.
was it real?
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very
We're-
moment be crawling and floundering
We're so
on
little.
its slimy bed. worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks.
Well, they made that
of
fucking creep.
granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind.
Just the sheer size of that.
The land shall sink, and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
I love the visualization. Like, if the deep ones ever decide to come back. Oh, yeah, let's just fast forward through the destruction of, you know, where the world as we know it, as the deep ones come back and Cthulhu rises to kill them all.
The end is near.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Oh, God, not good. Not good. This is very Shadow over Innsmouth of like locking the door or something trying to get in.
It shall not find me.
You won't find me until I've already gotten out my window. Oh, fuck. Time to run. Out the window we go.
God, that hand.
Yeah, I see one of the deep ones.
The window.
Yeah, the window. That's our salvation. I should probably run. Right? Just go for it. Why did I choose a room on the second floor? I just broke my wrist and my ankle. We hope you enjoyed immersing yourself in our little pool of cosmic horror. We appreciate if you took a moment to rate Dagon and check out the other games and DLCs. They have the Eldritch Box DLC, and they also have the Little Glass Bottle DLC. So make sure to leave a comment down below if you guys enjoyed, and we can look more into doing a little more HP Lovecraft walkthroughs, kind of letting you guys get a little more experience with it all and kind of see what it's like to actually visualize something that is so hard to ascertain in your own mind while reading at times. But make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, tune into the next one, and we'll catch you guys there. See you guys.